and it's time for another virtual brewery tour. Today, we're going to be talking to Brady Frost and John Bigelow. They're from Yes Brewing Company. They're in Westbrook, Maine. Very small shop that is created a lot of flexible options to get beer to their fans. Before we get going, I wanted to let you know that this series of virtual brewery tours is sponsored by Carhop, which is a locally owned and operated company. They can be found at carhopme.com, and they offer home delivery of alcohol, perfectly legal. It's a third-party setup, and you can order online at carhopme.com. You can select from a number of different breweries, and they will take your order. They'll take change for delivery to your home. Now, this includes Yes Brewing when they're open, which we'll find out from these guys, their actual hours. Hello!
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, you're going to have to flip it the other way because yes, there we go. It's the tall shot. Just saying a couple things before we get going. It's good to see you guys. So among the companies that are involved in Carhop is Yes Brewing in Westbrook. So if you want yet another option to get beer to your home when Yes is open, which is indicated right at carhopme.com, then you'll be able to order their beer among other companies and get it delivered to you. The best part is, because they're sponsoring these programs, there is a code called BrewBus. I should remember that one. Use code BrewBus at checkout, and you will save 50% on your delivery fee, which is fantastic and a great way to support local breweries. So today's special guest down here, Brady Frost on your left and John Bigelow on your right. They are the co-founders and proprietors of Yes Brewing in Westbrook, Maine. Hello, boys. How are you?
How's it going, Don?
Good. I know there's a little bit of background noise there because I think you're actively brewing this afternoon. Is that right?
We're canning. Yeah, we're
canning.
A lot of canning going on. Yep.
Excellent. So excuse any background noise that you hear. They are actually canning right now. We're going to be talking to these guys for about a half an hour. If you have any questions or comments, if you want to share your opinion or your thoughts about Yes Brewing's beers, we can do that right in the bottom left of your screen, right where the comment section is there. I've got somebody behind the scenes who's helping to produce. That's Greg Klein, our group sales manager, and he's curating those questions and sending them to me separately. So I will try to get to everybody as I can. And so the first thing we've got actually is from Craft Beer 207, who says, I've heard great things about these guys, and that's true. But that's good. That's excellent.
I don't think that was legit.
That's okay. We'll take it. But for those who haven't heard great things about those guys, maybe you can start at the beginning and tell us how you guys got started and how you started or how you founded Yes Brewing Company.
Well, actually, I used to buy beer from John at a Friendly Discount Beverage, and he was telling everybody he was a home brewer and he had a lot of good stuff. At some point, you eventually let me try some beer. We started working on his getting set up to open his own brewery, and then at some point we just decided to do it together. And my brother Troy is the third person that we brought in, and we opened July 1st, 2017. But started about a year before that in terms of planning and getting our space ready. But so we've been open 2.5 going on. Almost 2.5 to 2 3/4 years, I guess.
Yeah. And there was a period of time that I would see John during at that same retail store, and he'd say, "No, seriously, I am opening a brewery. Believe it or not." He'd give me little updates. Yeah, I know. He'd give me little updates like, "Oh no, we just we worked on the floor today. We did some painting today." And it eventually became true. So before we go too much further, what are you guys enjoying in your glass today?
I got a Parfait Peach Mango. We actually brewed this for the Women's Right to Vote Centennial events. It was called Empower Sour for them, but for us it's Parfait Peach Mango, so it's another lactose fruited sour.
Perfect.
Now I'm drinking our John Lemon.
John Lemon?
What's the story of that one?
So, we had some problems here a while back. Had a mechanical failure, and some beer didn't get to fit. Well, it oversoured essentially, or not oversoured, but the bacteria didn't work out right. It started fermenting instead of just souring, and it got to the point where we weren't going to be able to kettle it. Well, so just figured, okay, we could dump this, or it still tastes good. So it's basically a parfait just with a live bacterium of lactobacillus in it. But we put just a touch of ginger on it and a little bit of lemon, and it's probably the easiest drinker we got on the line right now.
Beautiful.
Today
being Tuesday and me being a bad planner, I didn't have any Yes beer on hand. So I have a reasonable facsimile of something that I think is something close to what you would make. So this is Sparkles My Jam. This is from your neighbors down the road at Foundation Brewing Company. So this is a tart fruit ale that has apricot, grape, peach, and lactose. And we'll talk more about the sour story that's going on there. But first, a cheers to you guys. Thanks for coming on today.
Man.
Cheers, Don.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Tart. I love it. So I think one of the things we enjoy when we bring our guests on the Maine Brew Bus to your place is that they walk through the door. They're not exactly sure what they're going to enter. Fairly nondescript. It's a commercial building like a lot of breweries are in. They open the door and there's that bright background. We'll see a little bit of it in a few minutes, but there's a bright, visually overpowering sort of look about what you're doing. And then people start to look at the beers. So John, maybe you can talk a little bit about your beer styles that you're featuring. What are you specializing in?
Yeah, I mean, more than anything, our focus is definitely on sour beers, but more particularly, I guess you'd call them yogurt soured milkshake ales. It's literally just a Greek yogurt lactobacillus strain that we use to sour with. Just like any other milkshake beer, lactose heavy, oats heavy, kind of give it a little bit of a smooth bite, but a little bit less lactose than a milk stout.
I was going to say, for those who aren't super familiar, when you say actually yogurt culture, you're literally saying, yes, actually yogurt culture. So how do you acquire that, and at what point in the brewing process do you introduce it to the beer?
So all the parfaits they're a proper kettle sour. So essentially, we do a quick kettle just to make sure it's completely sterile, and then into the fermenter, and we literally just taking a thing of Greek yogurt and just mixing some beer into it to make a starter, just like one might do a yeast starter.
Yeah.
And then into the tanks, hold them about 105 degrees, let the cultures grow, propagate, sour, and then after a discriminate amount of time, slightly different depending beer to beer, kettle it out and kill the strain off and lock in that level of sour.
Yeah, a lot of people may not realize that you can actually make your own yogurt that same way by taking a culture from a commercially available yogurt and introducing it with heat and more dairy. You can actually make your own yogurt. So it's somewhat similar to that. The yeast will replicate, will propagate, and can make beer beautifully delicious as well. So, Brady, one of the things that I always point out, much to your chagrin when we have our tours there, is that you've got a very interesting and varied background with some professional education behind you as well. So could you talk a little bit about your background?
Oh, I don't know about that, man. No, yeah, I had a finance background first. I got my MBA a while ago at the University of Tampa. So I was doing the corporate thing, doing more corporate finance type stuff for about 4 or 5 years. And then, yeah, this was just an industry that, I liked a lot, that I partook in a lot, I guess. I like drinking craft beer a lot. And then it was kind of a natural thing to get involved with. Maine obviously has, amongst the best craft beer scenes for any state. But for me, at the age I was in, when I came back, I was here, I came back from Florida, it just kind of made sense. So, yeah, it's been a fun way of applying some business stuff, business skills. But, yeah.
we get to see a lot of brewers that get into owning their own breweries that don't really have a business or finance background. Often they are home brewers, more like what John is. Not to say that he's not skilled in his own way, but they don't think about the actual business implications of legalities, of insurance, of payroll, of trademark, of viability financially, and it's. I'm sure that those skills have helped you quite a bit to establish your company.
Yeah, for sure. I think the thing we focused on the most was kind of like bootstrapping and staying small. When we started, we kind of had our own ideas, like what we wanted to do, but there's kind of two different routes a lot of people take. A lot of people raise a lot of capital or get a larger loan or try to, I guess, create a bigger company from the beginning, to start. We wanted to start small and kind of like craft our own, way of doing business, and also like lean on our creativity and kind of what we wanted to do and grow with, as little of debt and a little bit of, exposure as possible, which has been, a good thing for us for the most part. It takes patience.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily say everyone should do that. It takes a long time, but we all kind of looked at it and we thought that was the way we wanted to go. So it's been okay. It's been good.
Awesome. We want to say hi to a few friends who have joined us here. We see folks in from Bangor Beer Company up in Bangor, Uncorked Tours in New Brunswick. Hello, my friend Jill up there. Aurora Mills Farms, producing a lot of grains that are used in brewing throughout the state. IPA Shay, Shay from the Maine Brew Bus and also from Nonsuch River Brewing. Welcome to all of you for joining us. And so let's talk now about the things that have happened over the past couple of weeks. When did you first start to realize that there were going to be some serious implications coming your way? And what were some of your first steps to address that?
I just touched my face. That was stupid. No.
Don't do that.
Yeah, my bad. No, it's probably, for me, the tipping point was the Tom Hanks / NBA canceling. Was that 2 Wednesdays ago? I think it's 2 weeks ago from tomorrow, I'm guessing, yeah?
Yeah, probably about right, yeah.
Before that, I've been obviously keeping up with it. It was something to look at, but when that got real, and then that basically kicked off the closure of, pro sports, and then all these local businesses started closing, that made it, for me, more immediately plausible we were going to have to shut down or change the way we were doing business. We kind of already talked about it like 10 days before or so, just like if this happens, like it's just really hard to plan for because it's unprecedented. We weren't aware that we'd be able to deliver beer or do anything similar, a month ago.
Right.
So,
right.
So for
it didn't exist.
It did not exist. So yeah, we try to do the best you can to forecast. We just had a meeting and we're like, here's what we think will happen, but it's mostly like every week you need to reassess, the landscape and like how people are being affected is changing every day.
And just before we went live here, our governor spoke alongside the Maine CDC, Dr. Shaw, and we were anticipating we were going to see some more serious restrictions. And there were restrictions, but they're really no different in many cases of what we're seeing. It's now mandated that non-essential businesses close their public-facing enterprises. So it's very similar to what you've already done in this industry, what restaurants have already done as well. But now it extends to bookstores or other places where people might congregate. So in one ways, we dodged a more significant bullet, which could be a full shelter in place, and you're not even allowed to go to your own business. But in other ways, that still could be a day or two away. So, John, let's talk about how these have affected your production schedule and your packaging schedule, because you are predominantly an on-premise taproom model with some distribution, but not much. So, how has this affected your scheduling?
Well, to be frank, the timing was kind of awkward. For one, we were actually just at a point. We'd actually just gone out and had a sit down with
Whole Foods.
Yeah, with Whole Foods Market.
Yeah.
And we had a meeting scheduled with Market Basket. And So that's the thing. This is really the start of the push for us, really trying to grow our out-of-house. Just, getting our cans out a lot more. And so as far as production schedule, pretty much just written everything off at the moment. I mean, we're just canning up the last of everything we have in fermenters today. We're pretty decent on our keg run in-house. So we're doing a lot of canning in-house, just Prowler type 16-ounce format. So, and I mean, obviously no kegs out of house.
Well, I think I was able to see, one side at some point, you guys basically said we're literally canning everything we've got. And, over the weekend for curbside pickup and for home delivery in a variety of different ways, you had 6 different canned products and a bottled cool ship product available. And how did that work out over the weekend? Was that so well received?
People are still figuring it out. I mean, from what I can tell, it was well received, and we have awesome, supporters that are there for us. But I do think there's kind of a lag in terms of, people adjusting to the new normal for however long this is going to last. So, it's just a little bit awkward more than anything. Not anyone's fault, but, what are you allowed to do? Are you allowed to walk into a tasting room and order beer? Should you know what I mean? Should you call ahead? So people are still kind of figuring out the best ways to do business, but it was good. Overall, it was productive. We were fine. So that's great. But I also just think there's a learning curve here, with people getting used to ordering everything they would normally buy. It's strange. So we're trying to do our best to give everybody information. But
Were you guys doing the home deliveries yourself if they weren't using Car Hop?
We did a few, we did some last weekend. That was no problem. Everyone was really cool.
Were they surprised to see you guys roll up to their house?
No. I mean, they called us, so I hope not. Yeah. If we just showed up, that'd be weird. I mean, we're not going door to door. Not yet.
Here you go.
We're not.
We're talking with Brady Frost and John Bigelow from Yes Brewing. They're in Westbrook, Maine, and they are about 2.5 years old, a fairly small shop. We're just talking about what all this has meant to them. We said just a few moments ago that you never know what the changes are going to be, and as we are doing this live, the city of Portland has issued a stay-at-home emergency order effective tomorrow at 5 p.m., restricting all non-essential personal and business services. So as the larger cities start to kind of lock down, there may be certainly more to come. I'm already locked down. I was in Ireland last week, so I am on a mandatory 14-day quarantine. So I think I've been out of the house 3 or 4 times in the past 7 days since I've returned. So, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm Don Littlefield from the Maine Brew Bus, and this virtual brewery tour, if you want to participate, you can put your questions or comments right down at the bottom of the screen. We've got a few more people that have joined us. Capture This 207, hello, good to see you. Our friend Kathy Furrer from New Hampshire is in. That'd be Victoria's mom, by the way, if you know Victoria from our team. IPA Shay says, hiya, guys. Yes, is the place for sours. Yummy. Leah Brown, Sean Vernon. Good to see you guys, and I appreciate you being here. Jillian Nadeau from Uncorked, New Brunswick. Good to see you as well. Now, let's talk about the future. Now, how did you, or what are you going to do to address this need going forward? Have you basically scaled back production? Are you making any different beers, or are you doing anything different going forward?
I mean, essentially, we just scaled back production. And just like Brady said, we're playing, we're just following everything week to week. So, things loosen up, or, or our sales really start to pick up significantly, then we'll brew as needed. But at the moment, that's essentially the brewing schedule, is just brew as needed until things go back to normal, I guess.
Yeah, and you're already brewing in fairly small quantity. Maybe can you talk a little bit about your brew house, your setup, and maybe this is a good time to actually flip the camera lens around and let us take a look around at your bright and shiny place here.
Bright and shiny. We're in the middle of canning, so sorry.
That's all right. It's important that people see that breweries are actively working,
Oh, yeah, we're working a lot. So this is all our cans we're filling today. John, you can talk about the hot side. Here's how small our brewing setup actually is. And then our canning line is this small. That is a single hand canner. And that's our...
right there in the center there. Yep.
Yep.
So is that Is that a one barrel system or 1.5 barrel system?
We're right at 2 barrels hot side, 2 barrels hot side, about 5 barrels fermented.
Okay.
So I mean, essentially, I'd call it a 2 barrel nano setup.
Yep. Yeah. So that's it, folks. And so when we bring guests in here, they look at that, and it looks, it's just kind of in the corner of the tasting room. You can see the break is well, hello, there's that. Literally, the tasting room is right there on the left. So it's just tucked into this corner of what used to be some industrial space, literally behind a bagel shop on a kind of a street that leads to a baseball field and in a riverside walkway. So a really cool spot there, and it's a small shop, and you can really kind of get a sense of how hands-on these guys are, because this is hand canning, this is hand everything, and this is
all
the
our
cooler.
cans. We've just been canning a lot today.
Just canning a lot.
Yeah, that's all we got, man. We got to can pretty much anything we don't think we'll have when we reopen. We should probably can. So.
Can we get a good look at one of your can labels there?
Sure.
It's going to be reversed for, if you do it from this lens, it won't be reversed. Everybody can get an appreciation. So talk about the label art a little bit.
Yeah, friend of the brewery, Matt Fisher. He's actually an EMT by trade, but he's a pretty serious artist as well. He'd come in a lot of times, wanted to work with us. Basically hadn't done a beer label before, but he does a ton of pen and ink, like really solid, like cartoon work. He actually has like a ton of stuff actually up in our brewery too over there if we want to check it out. But basically we started working with him about must have been like 9 months ago, a year ago, something like that, somewhere in there. But yeah, he's made 2 labels for us so far. I don't know. Do you have any of the other ones, John?
Yeah, I think what's cool about that is, it's a local artist that's not his prime job. Obviously, he's taking care of others, but he's got some skills, and I love how you're leaning on him for that.
Yeah, this is the other one he did. This is the orange creamsicle Parfait one. I think that's supposed to be John there. Yeah. But,
the mad scientist sort of deal?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we have a good time. We basically give him, full free reign. Like, give him a concept that we have. Obviously, he tries the beer, and then at some point, he comes up with a concept, and we let him do what he wants.
That's great.
I would say that the first time we did these, it was actually it's kind of a struggle just because his work is so detailed. So it's really hard to get the art to actually work for like mass production, but we figured it out. It took a while, but we really like them. They're fun and they're different. So I kind of like the cartoon vibe. It's fun. Yeah.
Let's give him another shout out. What's his name?
Matt Fisher. He's at Matt Fisher Inc. on Instagram.
At Matt Fisher Inc. on Instagram. Check him out. And if you're looking for some great creative artwork, there's your man right there.
Yep.
Let's flip it back around if you might. And while you're doing that, I'll tell you we've got our friend Alan from Drink Portland, Maine has joined. Benmore Media is on hand. Britannomyces is on hand. Andrew Cuomo, hello. We have a question from our friends at the Growler Bus, which is up in Bangor, Maine. How did your name of your company come about?
It wasn't serious. It was a placeholder. Yeah. We were just putting it down in all of our documents when we first were doing stuff. It was a common word, whatever. And then after we got a fair amount into the process, we started to like it. And then we checked if there was a trademark, and there wasn't. And then we just kept it. And now it kind of works. It kind of works with we have like an 80s, 90s vibe going for sure. And I think it kind of works with that. But no, it's not named after the band. We get asked that. No, it is not.
No.
It does not stand for anything. And there is
not an acronym.
No. And it's not that cool. No great, really awesome story. But I don't know.
Well, the awesome story, I think the awesome story is that was actually available, that nobody had gotten to that one by the time 2017 came around.
It's convenient because it's easy to order. So it's like super straightforward name. It's easy to order. It's always last on beer menus. That's about it.
Alphabetically.
I mean, if for nothing else, it's easily brandable. It's small, it's short, it's easy to work on things, and it's super fun whenever you have to deal with anybody up at the state as far as back and forth on the phone. That's always fun. What's the name of the brewery? Yes. No. What's the name of the? Yes.
Well, who's on first?
Yeah, pretty much. That yes is our who's on first.
That does
You
happen.
play that to
We get a
maximum
lot-
effect, I'm sure.
Some good dad
yeah.
jokes. Lots of dad jokes.
That's the
Oh
fun
my god. Gotten a lot of this.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
All the time.
The fun, the fun. Obviously, these guys are fun, and they've got a fun motif. You spoke about it a little bit, but neon is your friend. Broad, bold graphics are your friend, and I think really tasty beers are part of your portfolio. So, are you guys that vibrant, exciting, crazy, or is this all an act?
I don't know.
Get this on a Friday night when we're not all in lockdown, maybe.
You see me at the Slab event. I was pretty vibrant at that.
Oh, for sure.
I was extremely vibrant then.
That's a good example.
Sunday mornings, I am not that vibrant typically. Early.
We have a couple of other comments here. IPA Shay says orange creamsicle all day, and Kathy Fura asks, is Yespresso always available, or is that seasonal or occasional?
We haven't really decided. That beer's been pretty popular. We'll probably bring it back in the future again, but we don't have much left as of now, so it'll probably be a while. We have a little left.
Well, I mean, we're looking for input too. We generally carry one dark beer over through the summer, just because. Let's be honest, popularity of porters and stouts isn't at peak when it's 85 degrees out. So we're still just trying to figure what's the one we're going to carry through. So we're always looking for input.
Yep.
Nice. You can put your input right down in the comments, or you can send it to them at it must be yesbrewing.com. I meant to pull that ahead of time, but yesbrewing.com. When you are open, is that exclusively Saturdays and Sundays at this point?
We're Friday through Sunday up until whatever this whole change. But yeah, and then in summer we're usually Thursday through Sunday. But yeah.
Well, for now, here's some ways you can get their beer. You can email them. You can call them. You can pay in advance by credit card. You can Venmo them. You can PayPal them. You can do curbside pickup. You can do delivery. You can do car hop. And you can get lots of different varieties. And I think perhaps that's the most varied methods that I've seen yet of how people can get to you and pay you.
Why not? Whatever.
Try to be flexible.
Whatever's easy, man. Yeah.
Nice. Now, how are you guys doing through all of this? This is obviously not part of the plan, not part of anybody's plan. But how are you dealing with your family, your friends, your loved ones, and your business relationship?
It's a struggle. I personally, I'm an extroverted person, so there's times when, it's hard to be disciplined, but it's important to do your part. We all need to seclude ourselves. Obviously, I hope John's not infected. I'm still working with him, but I don't think he is. But yeah, we all need to take it seriously. So for me, it's mostly finding ways to call people, to Skype, to FaceTime, whatever, as opposed to meeting up. And then also it's a bummer not having people come in the tasting room. For us,
yeah.
We love having people in. That's really why we did this in the first place. So to eliminate that, interaction, that's kind of what we wanted when we opened. So it is trying, but at the same time, I think we're going to be fine. We're going to make it.
We'll make it.
But yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. This is a blow for us. Our entire company is based on bringing groups of people physically into businesses, and being unable to do that, not just it's one thing when one says no or closes, but when all 40 partners that simultaneously can't have you, then there's no business. We have no business except for on the internet right now, which is that's a different thing for us. But we also are aware that when people are able to move about freely without medical concerns or restrictions, they may not have disposable income for tour activities and tourism in general. So we don't love that understanding, but we get it. And so by trying to connect with our partner breweries, with the general public, it's helping us. It's helping our the fans of your brand and the people that have never heard of you. And then it's also helping you guys, as what we've heard from the 8 that we've done previous to this. We're also encouraging all of our partner breweries that we're talking to consider doing more outreach like this, because it's working, and it helps for people to see the inside of what's happening and get them excited for when they can come to visit, that they'll want to come visit you. So I'm doing okay. Some ways
Good.
I feel like I've never been busier just trying to organize and arrange for not only these, but just the essential activities of our business as well.
Yep.
Want to say hi to a couple of other people. Swim, Bike, Run, Breathe has joined. Looks like Nate Ledger has joined. Hello. Jill Nadeau, who I had mentioned is the founder of Uncorked Tours up in New Brunswick, reminds me that she's visited Yes Brewing on a Maine Brew Bus tour. And she didn't remember the dark beer, but she did love the jalapeno pale that she enjoyed on the tour.
Beer nuts, still here.
Everybody gets a kick out of that. Off the brew bus, everybody always says they have a blast with that beer. Just
It's not as scary as you think.
Yeah, I think when we open that door for our guests, it's expect the unexpected, and you're going to love the unexpected. So, how can our viewers best support you guys right now? Buy your beer, but what are some other ways they can support you?
I mean, that's mostly it. Order beer delivery. We're not shipping merch or anything yet, or doing gift cards yet, but mostly just if you're a patron of our brewery, if you support us, by all means, like order pickup, come say hi, we'll keep our distance, that's fine, or order delivery. That's really all we're doing.
You know what I mean? Just in a bigger picture too. Just make sure just follow what the state CDC is saying. Follow all this. As long as we play by the rules, we'll get through this even that much quicker. And then we'll be back to hopefully a huge party to open back up.
Yeah.
We'll all be ready for that huge party. Final opportunity for you to get your questions or comments in, but this has been really fun, really good. And I do want to mention a couple of things that if you've enjoyed this talk, if you've enjoyed watching these guys and seeing their shop and hearing their story, you can support the Maine Brew Bus with the virtual tip bucket that we have out on our website. So like you would on the bus, there'd be a tip bucket up front. In this case, it's electronically on the front of our website. And we've made some enhancements to that virtual tip bucket. So now, previously it was set at $20. Now you can donate nearly any amount you want. If you like this and want to throw a $5 in there, that's great. If you want to put 10, 20, and if you actually want to put $100 in the tip bucket, that's fantastic. We'll match that 100% with a gift card good for a future tour. So it's like showing your support for Yes Brewing at the same time showing that you're going to be going to visit them in the future. You can find all that information at www.themainbrewbus.com. And at the very top of our webpage is a section called Virtual Tours. And as I mentioned, we're partnered with carhopme.com. Use promo code BREWBUS for 50% off of your delivery fee. And they have a very moderate fee to begin with. And it's basically a great way you can get beer from Yes on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when they're open. You can also pre-order. So that way, if you're thinking about it now and you want to pre-order for the weekend, you can go ahead and do that now. They'll hold the order and then deliver it when the time is right. But it's not only Yes Brewing in Westbrook, but a dozen or more other breweries scattered throughout southern Maine and scattered throughout the rest of Maine, as I know that they're increasing their territory every single day. Final thoughts. I'm going to give you guys the last minute while I look through the questions and comments. So give us your elevator pitch about Yes Brewing and why people should come see you when the time is right.
Come on, John, let's go.
This is called elevator pitch time.
It's the one reason we kind of jumped to brand ourselves is sours. Just who else does that many sours around here other than one or two on the board? So that's Allagash. Obviously, you've got to give your nod. They've done their time. But that's the thing. If you like sour beers, we're the place to come. We always have at least 6, 8, 10 even at times on the board. And everything else we try to keep varied, decent variety without getting too hot heavy. So, when everything lightens up, come check out some sour beers.
Nice.
How do you do, Brady?
I think that was pretty good.
That was pretty good
at the start, but yeah, that was good. You landed that thing.
We want to say hi to a couple folks who are joining us here. Miss Lindsay, Heather Firth, who's a co-founder of Orono Brewing. Hello, Heather. Good to see you. Nate Ledger says he's also had the jalapeno. It is not that scary. We want to say hi to Pliny at Terlingua Barbecue, which is a great spot, opening a new location in Portland when the time is right. IPA Shay says, good luck, guys. Chin up. And I think that's great. We're all trying to be chin up and look forward to the future. But the important point is you can support them now through the methods that we've said. So, Brady, John, thank you so much for joining us on the virtual brewery tour featuring Yes Brewing of Westbrook, Maine. And we appreciate your time and we appreciate your beer.
Thanks very much, man. Thanks for having us, Don.
Cheers.
All right, cheers. We'll see you guys in real life soon.
Hope so. See you soon.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.